I forced two of the biggest AIs on the planet, Google Gemini and Anthropic Claude, to code a 3D Mario Kart game from scratch. No libraries, no engine, just pure vanilla code and a dream. I gave them both the exact same prompt, and what happened next was an absolute train wreck. One of them built an unplayable fever dream that almost gave me a seizure, while the other made a clean game but completely forgot how a finish line works. Grab your popcorn, because this AI coding battle got personal. Gemini crossed the finish line first and handed over the code. It tried to flex with this pseudo 3D Mode 7 retro look, but man, it was janky as hell. The steering was inverted. The engine sounds literally sounded like a broken microwave. But the AI? The AI karts were absolute terminators. They drove flawlessly while I was spinning out into the green void. Then Claude entered the chat. Right out of the gate, Claude went for a clean, classic 2D top-down vibe. The sound effects were actually pretty fire. But the track layout was completely busted, and the AI bots had no clue where they were going, just smashing into borders. Time to start bug fixing. This is where the real pain started. I kept telling Gemini that the steering was totally busted. It just kept throwing code at me, coping, tweaking values, but nothing changed. It was like arguing with a brick wall. Total skill issue on Gemini's part. Meanwhile, Claude was a total bro. I gave it feedback, and boom, it fixed the map and the steering instantly. But then, I hit a massive roadblock. I was driving perfectly, crossing the line, but the lap counter wouldn't update. I literally could not finish the race. It took me way too many tries to realize what was going on. But before we solve that mystery, let's check back on our resident genius, Gemini. At this point, Gemini still had garbage audio and a completely unplayable game. I low-key lost my temper and yelled at it in the prompts. Gemini panicked, gave up on the 3D dream, and decided to copy Claude's top-down style. Except it failed miserably. It spawned my kart so huge it occupied literally half the screen. Hilarious, but total trash. After Gemini scaled down the kart, the game became hyper-twitchy. The physics were way too fast. I couldn't even see the corners coming up, and the bots were still moving like absolute sweatlords, pulling off frame-perfect lines. Unfair doesn't even begin to describe it. While Gemini was struggling, I finally cracked Claude's finish line bug. Turns out, Claude's checkpoint system was so strict that if your tires left the gray asphalt even by a millimeter, the game flagged you as out of bounds and refused to count the lap. I told Claude to ease up on the penalty and add some visual borders. It coded some nice rumble strips, but the code is still a bit buggy. If you smash into the wall at Mach 5, it still occasionally robs you of a lap. Classic indie game feature, right? Back to Gemini for the grand finale. I ordered it to nerf the bots, slow down the global speed, and add a mini-map. And honestly, it finally delivered. The steering got dummy smooth, the bots started making human mistakes, drifting off into the grass, and after a ton of tuning, I finally crossed the line in first place. Victory never tasted so sweet. So what did we learn today? Claude is a beast at quick layout fixes and clean code structure, while Gemini takes a lot of yelling and babysitting to get things right, but can pull off a decent game if you humble it enough. Which game would you rather play? Drop a comment below, smash that like button, and subscribe if you want to see me lose more brain cells to AI coding. Catch you in the next one.